Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. Just kind of continuing on a series that I'm starting on, kind of how I would level up and just my two thoughts. Now, if I was to start in this peak, it's not the best peak in the world, but I just kind of want to show you for demonstration purposes for anybody that might be trying to learn this, as well as show up a few marks. And in the intent that you might be wanting to go for pike, you're going to have trouble at a low level without large minnows, as you can see there by the marks. Now, you can get them on a spoon or something like that, but just for testing purposes, I'm just kind of showing you here. With small minnows and a barbless one, and the difference of, shiners or large minnows that you could get later on in the game. Again, guys, just kind of throwing out a float rod here. Now, there's two different ways you could farm it. If you wanted to, like I said, I'm bringing a float rod just because I know I can catch the walleye on a float rod just like I would a feeder rod or something like that. I'm using the Omni float and I'm using gear, level 10 gear in the event that you did unlock Emerald, and this is how you want to come farm. Keynotes: the narrow spoon, 1/4 ounce 1/0, whether it's black or purple. It is a couple bait coins again, but it's a lure that's really great for these, as everybody will attest to. I know I used them ranking up as well way back in the day. But I did do something a little unique. I do like the Omni float. Remember when I got here, I used it as well for the walleye, and I'll kind of show you. Also, keynote here, I'm going to fast forward here in a second. The fight time's horrible on 6-pound test line. I just want to give you a comparison later on in the video. Again, guys, that was 5 minutes real time, I think, or 5 minutes game time to reel that in. Now, my thoughts on it was, I know a lot of people this amongst the community as I put up this mark for somebody, just in case they didn't have it. I'll also throw a float rod of that later on, and you'll see that it's effective on 98 inches on small minnows, barbless hook 1/0 to farm these, so you can kind of power up, so to speak, and double up your time as well. Now, again, going back to using 6-pound line here, where a lot of people might say, well, you're losing XP if you go up to 8-pound line or something like that. But it's the way I look at it is, if you can catch a fish twice as fast as you would, with an excessive fight time, to me it makes more sense to bump up a little bit. And you'll see later on in the video, I'll show you when I go from 6-pound to 8-pound line once you're available to open that up. Okay, I'm also kind of just showing you that the fight time there on those can be, longer than one would want, especially when you're trying to level up. So again, on upcoming clips, I'm going to kind of show you as well. Here I'm getting ready to hook into a walleye. Now I've also thrown out a float, so I do recommend as you come here, if you start at Lone Star, have enough money and budget your money out to where you can get you a one rod stand holder. Now it doesn't have a bite alarm on it, so you cannot tell when there's a fish on. But what I've done was I've casted a float rod out there to the mark that I already put up for you guys. Again, this is for people that are trying to level up and really don't understand how to kind of maximize their time, and that's what I'm actually trying to teach you here. Put yourself in a position. Also, keynote here, we're going to be learning how to juggle. Juggle your fish as you go. Now, this won't always work. Sometimes you'll miss them, but you kind of want to hook the fish, reel it in slightly. Slowly pay attention to what's going on. Put yourself again in a position that you can watch your rod as you're reeling in the fish. And again, I'll say keynote a lot, but again, just using that phrase, I'm walking this in so distance, so I know I'm gonna just lightly get this one in a little bit. I know the other one's a little closer, but I just want to make sure that I have tension on this. And that I got it on now. I'm gonna try to get this one in as quick as I can. So kind of juggling 101, so to speak. This can actually help you because you're catching two fish in one, so to speak. Now, again, heavy disclaimer, this takes a little bit of practice, as you guys know. As you progress through the game and you end up with four rod stand holder, it gets even more tricky. And a lot of times, or not a lot of times, but there will be times the rod stands will absolutely drive you crazy. But this is definitely a way that you can go about doing this. Again, as I go ahead and pull this one in here on the float rod, as you can see, the walleye will hit a float. Just set it deep, 98 inches on a chubby bobber. As you can see there, barbless hook 1/0, small minnows. Again, just kind of teaching you guys how to maximize your time as you're trying to farm and level up here. And again, in upcoming clips, I'll show you different things. Okay, moving on now. Pay attention closely. I've just reeled this in another walleye on this float, but I've already casted out my spinning rod. My spoon is sitting on the bottom, so I recast this out. Now, this is how you maximize things. I'm casting this out. Now watch how quick this walleye will bite this lure. This is not even edited. Boom. It's already hit it. So now I've already got another fish coming in. Now, if you're not keying in on what I'm saying is just basically rotating back and forth. Now you could do this with a Creek Pro or a bottom rod as well. But for me, I kind of like that's actually a telescopic rod, but this is what would actually work for you. So if you budgeted yourself correctly, like I was saying, you could have the on-me float as well as this little value spin here. And just for minimal bait coins, get you the narrow spoon, purple or black, whichever one you like. But I think the purple's a little better in my opinion, but the black does work. Now again, you can just muscle this in, but you can see the importance of being able to do both and kind of maximize your time. Now you could also just come with 2 value spins, but again, if you want to go and get your checklist done and you want to fish for pike in the daytime, you're going to want to bring that float rod with you as well. So that's kind of my recommendation there. Okay, moving on again. Now that was a long fight time even on this. Now going back 6-pound versus 8-pound line. Once you're able to unlock 8-pound line, I'm going to show you in the kind of upcoming clip as I talk here. What I did was I got the Omni float with the Crucian Hunter, and it's got 6-pound line on it. Now once you're able to unlock 8-pound line, I would recommend that you have the 8-pound line with you. Now unfortunately I only brought enough for just the one rod, so I will put this on this rod, and I'm just going to show you kind of the difference of the fight time as well as being able to maximize it. Now by that I mean you can actually max drag, you can full click that and power these things in, and you're not losing much XP because you're gaining a time saved, so you're thus making more XP, if that makes sense to anybody. And I will show you that here in a second. Okay, now I've pulled this in with my spoon or my spinning rod. Now I'm getting ready to set the hook with my float rod. Now watch the difference as I go through and max drag this on the time savings. This is real time. Watch how much quicker I get this fish in. And I think it still ends up being 100 and some XP with 2 arrows. And that's kind of one of the difference that I wanted to say, where I might have a little difference in opinion to some other people that might say use a 6-pound line in this situation. As you can see, this thing is just getting mauled. I'm absolutely just destroying this fish. I'm saving myself time to get on to the next cast. Again, so you're gonna, still get the XP, still get the cash, but you're not wasting, precious time that you might not have, if you don't have the time to grind. At least come in and, and fill up your net quickly. So again, I do hope this helps somebody. Now I want to take a little bit of time here in a second to talk about something else. As you can see, my net's already full in 15 minutes, and this is 26-pound net, so that does help you. Okay, so also keynote, if you are trying to target the pike, you're going to want to do it in the daytime. So walleye at night, you want to target the pike in the daytime. Look for peaks like that have sunny peaks, steep peaks there, and you see guys, I cashed in that 26-pound net. Now keynote I want to explain to you guys is, if you can maximize and maybe stay at the other lake a little longer and then get here with, let's say, a 55-pound net, you're going to make a lot more money. You got to figure in your travel expenses. It's going to be, I think, $3,000 to travel here, and it's $500 or whatever for a license. So always keep those things in mind when you're first picking this game up. And again, a keynote there, that red spoon will do really well, 2.0 to get the pike. The one that I told you about there also works really well, but if you can get that 2.0 version, it's even better for throwing for those pikes. But again, I hope this helped you guys out, and leave a like if it's something that you enjoyed.